Alright, let's talk about differentiating a function with the product rule. As a quick precursor to this video, if you are unfamiliar with some of the derivative rules, especially the product rule, and want a more in-depth explanation of what they are, how they work, and what they're good for, go ahead and check out my video on basic derivative rules that will be in this derivatives playlist for my Calc 1 series of videos. Alright, so let's talk about the product rule with respect to a function containing trigonometric values. I would like to evaluate the function f of x is equal to x squared times sine of x. Not that bad, eh? So here's the function we want to look at, and let us quickly recall the product rule. The product rule states that f times g prime is f prime times g plus f times g prime. And because of the commutative properties of addition and multiplication, you can switch this up in any order you want, just so long as you have f being prime on one side with g not being prime, and then on the other side g being prime multiplied by f not being prime. Those can be added or multiplied in any order, just so long as you meet the qualifications I just mentioned. So let's go ahead and get started here. This is the function we want to evaluate. So this shouldn't be that bad. Let's go ahead and figure out what our f and our g are. So our f is going to be here at x squared, and our g is going to be sine of x. So, new page here. Let's set this up. We have f prime times g. So we'll say that f prime of x is equal to, and down here we'll say f prime, and let's go ahead and write that. So this is going to be x squared prime times g plus, and this should be f g prime. Alright, so we already know what our f is going to be, x squared. Now let's go ahead and figure out g here. So we said g was sine of x, so sine x will go here, and then sine x prime will go here. So we have that f prime of x is going to be equal to, based on our formula, x squared prime times sine of x plus x squared times sine of x prime. Alright, not bad. So let's evaluate these things. F prime of x is equal to x squared times sine of x. Well, this is just 2x times sine x, because the derivative of x squared is 2x, using the power rule. Then we're going to be adding this to x squared times sine x prime. Well, if we remember correctly, sine x prime is just cosine x. So it's going to be x squared times cosine of x. So one step closer to our final answer. What do we need to do now? Let's go ahead and move on to a new page. Well, honestly, let's not, because I think this is about as simplified as we need to get. So, alright, this is a great f prime force. So we can conclusively say, using the product rule, that the derivative of x squared times sine x is 2x times sine of x plus x squared times cosine x, and that is our final answer. So it didn't actually take us very long to get there. So this is a pretty good, pretty simple problem. Do a quick recap of what was necessary here. The product rule simply allowed us to take our function, break it into two different things, each thing being multiplied, and then plug it into this simple formula here. F and g, we identified f as x squared and g as sine of x. So we said the product rule says, well, if f times g prime is just f prime g plus f g prime, so all we really needed to know what to do, or know how to do here, is plug stuff into this formula, and then we needed to know the power rule in order to take the derivative of x squared. And we needed to know just some basic trig derivatives in order to take the derivative of sine. If you're watching this playlist in order, I have not yet done any videos on proving trigonometric derivatives, so you'll just have to take me at my word that the derivative of sine is indeed cosine, but it is. So for this, we just had to have that memorized or be able to look that up with Wolfram Alpha or something like that. And that was all we really needed to know for this. So we did that, and we did some algebraic stuff, and just multiplying things together after we took that. And then there really was no more simplification necessary. We were able to come up with f prime of x is equal to 2x sine x plus x squared cosine x. And that's all there is to it.